Hi there, what do you do when your business principles conflict with the principles of being human? This is the real work I do in Lean Agile Transformation. I am Dr. Joshua Kolawole. I'm a global Lean Agile Transformational Leadership Trainer with Valdymas Intelligence. I want to speak to you today about that constant tension between the principles of business and the principle of being human. I've been accosted by many clients that told me in time past, why is my business small? Or why are we unable to scale? One of the critical reasons is that business seeks performance. Humanity is crying for purpose. In the boardroom, when we scream about metrics, immediately we walk into the walkway or the hallway. Everybody starts saying, I'm feeling like I'm being burnt out. This conflict between business principles and human principle is one of the deepest and the persistent challenge in today's world of work. The fundamental tension in business principles traditionally emphasize measurable outcomes like productivity, efficiency, predictability, scalability, profit maximization. And you should expect that shareholders, stakeholders want to demonstrate excellent results. They want to eliminate waste. They want to drive performance consistently. However, when we analyze through the principles of humanity, humanity would conversely center on the dignity of being human, the empathy, the autonomy, the purpose, the psychological safety, and the growth and well-being of every employee. So when you have yourself within that constant tension, how do you build an organization that is profitable and deeply human? That is the crucial question. I want to tell you today, I didn't bring up this topic to come and tell you a perfect solution. What I've come to create is a contemplation within your heart to help you start reevaluating this clever balance and look for the best method that fits for your organization per unit time. Because organizations that ignore business performance will definitely collapse. However, the one that fails to realize or ignores the humanity will also corrode from within. In fact, auto-implode, right? So this creates an idea that we system thinkers talk about polarity to manage. You are torn between two things. You want to be nice and you want to be productive. So how do you design a system that preserves human dignity and also puts in everything that is involved with business necessity, and especially that would reduce that tension? Because, like I said, you may not be able to eliminate the tension, but the idea will be, how do you get a point where you're able to balance the two? So let me discuss this from a lean agile mindset. The first thing is you need to define value. When you define value clearly, it would help you to prioritize what exactly you want. In terms of value, you need to put a value on what are the business value that matters to us, that will prevent us from thinking that we're being exploited or we're exploiting people. And when you think from the human principle, you also have to value the principles of fairness, the principles of emotional well-being of your employee, of your customer that gets to use your product, even your suppliers and your shareholders. So the shift from pure profit maximization to also thinking about your employee value is actually that balance that you need to achieve. We need to find a balance between excellent outcomes for our business and human flourishing. Companies like Patagonia, like Interface, have proved that this is possible. They've been able to build both the people and the profit over the years. So I want you to first balance one thing. Define what exactly value means to you that will prevent you from exploiting your employee, your customer, your suppliers, and even your shareholder, and ensure that you have that clever human principle balance to it. The second part of it is you need to build a structure for psychological safety in your organization. So there has to be a balance between building a system that generates a predictable result and that psychological safety for the people who would deliver that result. Every system that works is being worked by human. There's human energy, there's human talent, there's human thinking in it. So traditionally, business model favors this hierarchical control, predictable outcome model. In recent time, where as we become more human-centered and we prioritize the dignity of man, we bring up the case of empathy, autonomy, empowerment. Then it becomes the duty of organizational leader to ensure that this psychological safety is not just a side note, but it becomes a strategic enabler. Teams perform best when they can fail fast, speak up, and grow. Teams perform best when you understand that they are human and you're also able to leverage that humanity to drive our performance. The third thing I would like us to talk about is do not be too rigid about the concept of efficiency. Instead, allow learning and experimentation to continue in your organization. Business principles often drive the concept of speed to market, cost efficiency, time of onset, ETAs, SLAs. We are just after when the outcome will come. But the human nature also needs the concept of learning time, adaptability time. Not all organizations will have teams who could adapt as rapid as you would expect in another organization. So because of that, you need to build a concept of the growth mindset, learning mindset into your organization, such that you build teams that are curious, that are iterative, that are continuously learning. As much as we do not want inefficiency, we also want a team that is continuously innovating. The fourth thing, which will be my last point here, to justify why you need an excellent balance between the business principles and the human principle, is that every business must have a purpose that is well defined. In all scenarios, you should find an excellent way to ensure that your purpose also aligns with the purpose of your employee. And this means that your HR manager, your HR system has to ensure that people see the work they do as meaningful work. They must see personal growth, personal purpose in what they are doing. So if they're able to see this, even when they get to do work repeatedly, consistently, they don't get bored. They start seeing, I'm doing a meaningful work. So how do you connect the work they do with the final outcome, especially the clear goal of who gets to benefit ultimately from the work they do? So the final message I would like to give to you is that, can your system breathe with the people in them? Does your metric reflect meaning and not just an option? Can you as a leader hold the space for both profit and purpose? The future of work belongs to organizations who is able to master this balance. Not just optimizing for profit always, but organizing for impact, for innovation, and for inner wholeness. The organization that will lead in the next generation are not those who grow the fastest, but those who are able to grow the people and allow the people to generate the results. So for organizational leaders, you can contact us at Valdymas Intelligence if you need this true work of lean agile transformation in your organization. We don't just train leaders, we transform them. We have lean agile frameworks, mentorship structures, and value-driven learning system that helps individuals and organizations build character, competence, and purpose-driven performance. We believe in leadership that is accountable, that is agile, and that is anchored in truth. So we're here to work with you through clarity, through challenges, and onto transformation. Visit us at valdymasintelligence.org to begin your journey with us today. Thank you so much. Bye.